2017 began with hope and hype in Corvallis. Oregon State football ended 2016 on a 2-game win streak that included a victory against rival Oregon in the Civil War. Matt, not all elementary students in our area can take PE classes, so the nonprofit Healthy Moves decided to tag team with teachers to keep kids on playgrounds like this one not only active, but in other ways than just playing tag. Former Oregon basketball star Elgin Cook is headed to Las Vegas this summer. Though he's pressing his luck, it won't be on a roulette wheel. The Oregon and Oregon State women put on a show Friday night in Gill Coliseum. Fans were treated to an overtime thriller in round 1 of the Civil War that went the Beavers' way, making it 14 straight victories. After less than a year, Willie Taggart announced today he's leaving Oregon and heading to Florida State. And now Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullins must once again buckle up and find a new head coach. Last year, the Sheldon girls only had 2 losses in the 6A Southwest Conference, and both of them were to South Medford. But tonight, against North Medford, the Irish were once again taken down to the wire. Christmas came early for Duck fans on Sunday night when it was reported that defensive coordinator Jim Leavitt would be staying at Oregon. What started with a few Oregon players has now evolved into a major movement on Twitter, calling for athletic director Rob Mullins to hire Mario Cristobal as their next head coach. They're using the hashtag CristobalIn to send the message that Cristobal is their guy. The North Eugene Highlanders are off to a 1-3 start this season, and they've done so without an important member of the program. But while what Jeff White doesn't show up in the stat book, it does show on the scoreboard.
Football is my true love. It's my passion. I mean, you go to a Friday night game and the community comes together and the fans are there and the students are there and the band's there, cheerleaders are there. It's just exciting.
White took over as scoreboard operator back in 2002 when his son laced up and played for North Eugene himself.
Operating the scoreboard is not hard to do, but so many people are afraid to make a mistake. But everybody's human. You just do the best you can, and after a couple of years, you got it down pat.
White operated the scoreboard for the last 16 years until he was rear-ended back in March.
I have no idea what happened. I thought maybe the world ended or something because I never saw him come in my mirror and he just hit me full blast.
White says he suffered multiple concussions, is awaiting 2 surgeries, and often feels lightheaded and dizzy.
It's just turned everything upside down. All I could think of was my kids, how everything just flashed right before my eyes.
For now, he's sitting this season out. But the Highlanders athletic director told White that he can come back and operate the scoreboard whenever he's ready. But when it comes to this game, White says no matter who wins, he just wants to see a good game. Reporting in Eugene, Ronald Clark, KZI 9 Sports. When Sheldon takes on the Jesuit Crusaders, there's no doubt they'll be looking out for quarterback Michael Johnson Jr. and tight end Patrick Herbert. But they'll also need to keep a close eye on the Irish twins receiver tandem, Zach and Jack Folsom.
Honestly, it's easier to get on him. Unlike, I like to, he yells at me a lot. I like to yell at him a lot. But I think it's fun. It's not an opportunity everyone else gets.
The Folsom twins have been playing football since the 5th grade. Then it really took off in middle school.
We always loved football, watching it and stuff, and we're always begging our mom, oh, can we please play that? And we finally did it. And then I remember our first tackling drill, right when I got that first pop, just immediately just loved it.
The twins came to Sheldon their sophomore year. Jack was sidelined with an ankle injury, but Zach played varsity. And they don't just dominate on the field, they also excel in the classroom.
I mean, you call it student athlete because you're student first, then an athlete. I have a 3.9 GPA, and I work really hard to keep my grades up and stuff. I really believe that if you're working hard in the classroom, that it's going to pay off and it's going to show out on the field. That you're going to be working hard also. And I mean, in the end, it's school that really is going to take you places.
The seniors still aren't sure where that may be, but they know they could end up going their separate ways.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what it'd be like being, because I mean, what was the longest time we've been apart? Maybe
not even a week.
3 days.
Yeah.
But for now, they'll take their places lined up right next to each other, fighting for the Irish.
So I definitely know that he'll make a play.
Yeah,
and if he's blocking for me, I have confidence that he's going to be working his best to be trying to have me make a good play.
It's really competitive. I mean, if he scores a touchdown, I'm kind of mad. I want a touchdown, so
I'm going to try to score 2 touchdowns now.
Reporting in Eugene, Ronald Clark, KZI 9 Sports.
Coming up, with both Ducks baseball and softball teams take their talent on the road for Pac-12 matchups, and the acrobatic and tumbling team is set to defend its title at the Acrobatic and Tumbling National Championship. We'll have details after the break. Welcome back. I'm Ronald Clark with this week's sports update. The number 7 ranked Ducks will have their hands full this weekend with the top 10 battle against their in-state rival, number 4 Oregon State. The Ducks will be coming into the series riding a 9-game winning streak. Since the University of Oregon reinstated the baseball program in 2009, the home team has won 15 of the 21 Civil War games. Junior pitcher Jake Reed talked about how hard it is to play in Corvallis. The 3-game series begins against the Beavers tonight at 7 p.m. Junior lefty Tommy Thorpe will be on the mound for the Ducks. Moving on to the number 1 softball team in the country, tonight the Ducks will begin a 3-game series against the Stanford Cardinals. The Ducks have now held the number 1 spot for 3 consecutive weeks. A huge part of their success this year has to do with the superb play and leadership of sophomore pitching ace Sheridan Hawkins. Oregon News sports reporter Chris Brooklier has a story on Hawkins stepping into the leadership role. You can watch Hawkins and the number 1 ranked Ducks kick off their series against the Cardinals tonight on ESPNU at 7 o'clock. Another number 1 team in Eugene is the acrobatic and tumbling team. The Ducks are in Azusa, California for the Acrobatic and Tumbling National Championships. The championship competition kicked off last night with individual events, which saw the Ducks take home 6 event titles, the most of the night. The quest for their 4th consecutive championship continues with the team matchups tonight. That's all for sports. We now send it to Nick Nathaniels with your weekend forecast. Nick?